Debt is a double-edged sword. For some, it's a ticket to wealth, while for others, it's a trap that ruins lives. Today, we're diving into the battle between two of the biggest names in personal finance, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Dave Ramsey, the financial guru known for his anti-debt stance. Both have massive followings, both have helped millions, but their approaches to debt couldn't be more different. So who's right? We'll dive into each of their philosophies, weigh the pros and cons, and help you decide which path might be the best fit for your financial journey. Welcome to Sage Investing, bringing you timeless investing wisdom. If you're looking to improve your investing knowledge, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you found this useful. Let's start with a quick overview of these two financial giants. Robert Kiyosaki has built his brand on the concept of financial education and investing. According to Kiyosaki, good debt can be used as a powerful tool to build wealth. In contrast, Dave Ramsey believes in living debt-free, emphasizing a straightforward approach to money. If you can't pay for it outright, you can't afford it. Ramsey's method is all about security, risk avoidance, and peace of mind. Both mindsets have proven to work for millions, but what do these ideas mean for you? Let's start with Robert Kiyosaki. He argues that there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. In his eyes, bad debt is something like credit card debt or a high-interest loan on a depreciating asset. This is the kind of debt that drains your finances and doesn't give you a return. But good debt? That's debt that's put to work to generate income. Think of it as a mortgage on an investment property. Kiyosaki believes that if you leverage good debt correctly, it can accelerate your wealth building. Here's how it works. By borrowing money to invest in assets that appreciate or provide cash flow, like real estate, you're essentially using the bank's money to make money. Imagine buying a rental property with a $100,000 loan. Sure, you pay interest, but if done right, the rental income more than covers those payments. Kiyosaki argues this is the kind of debt that can make you rich. Wealth is built not only through rental income, but mainly through capital appreciation, the property itself gaining value over time. By using leverage, you're enhancing your return on investment, amplifying your gains compared to only using your own cash. In Kiyosaki's view, the goal isn't to be debt-free, but to be financially educated. For him, it's financial literacy that makes debt powerful, not something to be avoided entirely. Now let's look at Dave Ramsey's perspective. Ramsey takes a no-debt approach, calling it financial peace. He argues that any kind of debt, yes, even so-called good debt, is a risk. To Ramsey, carrying debt means living with a financial anchor. What happens if your rental property market crashes, or if your tenant stops paying rent? Ramsey's philosophy is built around removing this stress and risk entirely by living debt-free. Ramsey has built a powerful debt snowball strategy to help people pay off their debts, from smallest to largest, to achieve a debt-free life. To him, paying off a house, car, and even avoiding credit cards is the path to true financial freedom. Why? Because without debt, you're in control. Ramsey says that cash gives you flexibility, peace, and power in a way that leveraged investments can't. Let's break down the pros and cons of Kiyosaki's approach. The biggest pro is potential wealth generation. Leveraging good debt can let you control large assets with relatively little money down, maximizing your return on investment. But the risk? Debt is debt. You have to keep up payments regardless of what happens with your investment. In a market downturn, you could be underwater for a while. Kiyosaki would argue that financial education can help you mitigate these risks. But for the average person, managing leverage, interest rates, and asset performance can be overwhelming and risky. On the flip side, Ramsey's approach offers stability and peace of mind. By avoiding debt altogether, you reduce financial risks and the stress of monthly payments. This is the safe path, focusing on cash flow and security. But there's also a downside. Without debt, it's harder to generate the substantial income needed for building serious wealth. Ramsey's approach may feel slower because it relies entirely on saving rather than leveraging. To some, this is restrictive. Without using debt, you may miss out on lucrative opportunities. However, Ramsey would argue that it's a sacrifice worth making for a risk-free financial life. Let's put this into perspective with an example. Imagine you have $20,000 to invest. A follower of Kiyosaki's approach might use that as a 25% down payment on an $80,000 rental property, borrowing the remaining 75% as a mortgage. They rely on rental income to cover the mortgage payments. Assuming property values grow at an average of 5% per year, the property would be worth approximately $130,000 after 10 years. After paying down the mortgage, they would have around $85,000 left over in equity. With an initial $20,000 investment, that's a return on investment of 325%, a $65,000 gain. This illustrates Kiyosaki's belief that good debt can accelerate wealth building by allowing you to control valuable assets with a relatively small upfront investment. In contrast, a follower of Ramsey's approach would avoid debt entirely. They might invest the $20,000 in an all-world ETF, achieving a steady annual return of about 7%. After 10 years, this investment would grow to approximately $39,000. While this ROI of around 96% is lower than Kiyosaki's leverage strategy, it avoids the stress of debt, offering a slower but secure path to growth. So which one is right for you? If you're comfortable with risk, have a high tolerance for financial complexity, you might lean toward Kiyosaki's approach. On the other hand, if you value security and simplicity and want to eliminate financial stress, Ramsey's debt-free lifestyle might be a better fit. Remember, it's about knowing yourself and your financial goals. Neither approach is wrong. Both Ramsey and Kiyosaki have successfully guided millions, but ultimately, you need to choose the path that aligns with your comfort level and future aspirations. In the end, the right strategy is the one that keeps you motivated, secure, and on track to reach your financial freedom.